Hello, it's Monday, and direct from the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. It's time for another edition of Time Out Over Time on the Tom right on cue on the Time Out Over Time YouTube channel. I'm your host Rick Arsenal. As always, if you haven't done so yet, please do me a huge favor: get down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. As you saw in the headline, a big shout out to the Western Michigan University Broncos hockey team. They are this year's NCAA National Hockey Division One hockey champions. It's great. Glad to see it. Couldn't be happier. I know earlier in the season we would have thought Michigan State would be here, but they got eliminated. And Broncos came in and they beat some reputable schools in the process in Denver College and Boston University, perennial hockey powers when it comes to Division One NCAA hockey. So they earned it, and I couldn't be happier. Maybe now, schools in the Mid America Conference. If you want to look at here in Michigan, we've got Western and Central and Eastern. You've got Northern Illinois and Ball State and Toledo and Bowling Green, and that's just a handful. Ohio University and Marshall used to be in the Mid America, but they're not anymore. Ohio University and so many. Look, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that the Mid America Conference has always been looked at as the minor leagues, if you will, of Division One sports, especially when it comes to football and basketball, and even hockey. And maybe this will give them a little more notoriety now. And there are a lot of good players in the NFL that have come out of the Mid America Conference, and you can say the same thing about the NBA. So maybe now people will take a little more notice, and maybe the Mid America Conference will get a little more respect, and I think it's well due. I think it's high time that they did, and I'm sure this championship by Western Michigan and the whole city of Kalamazoo and all of Western Michigan, all of Michigan can be very proud what the Western Michigan University hockey team has accomplished this year. Nice going, Broncos. We're all very proud of you. Couldn't be happier. So congratulations to them. Now, I think we're not gonna say too much about the Red Wings tonight. Last home game of the year at Little Caesars tonight against Dallas. Stars come in, I think, having lost 6 straight. It's a meaningless game. Red Wings have already been eliminated. For what, like the 9th year in a row now? So next year will be the 10th anniversary that they have not made the playoffs. We're not gonna spend too much time lamenting this tonight. Maybe when we have a little more time, or later on in the week on Wednesday or Friday, we'll talk a little bit more about what happened and what didn't happen. Bad moves that Yzerman may have made. I understand he's had bad luck when it comes to the draft lottery, but as far as free agent signings and trades, it just hasn't worked out for him. It just hasn't. And not only that, the fact too that Steve Yzerman keeps a very low profile. You don't see anything from him. You don't hear anything from him. You don't see doing any interviews. About the only time you see him on TV is at the NHL draft, and that's about the only time you see or hear from him. The only time we saw or heard from him at all this season is when he fired Derek Malone and brought brought Todd McClellan in. That's about the only time we saw him this year. No. So much for the Red Wings. As I say, we'll do maybe a little bit of a post-mortem on them, or a autopsy, if you will, later on in the week. Got too much going on tonight. NFL draft is what now? 10 days away. First round is a week from Thursday in Green Bay. And of course, we've got mock drafts all over the place. We'll talk about that a little bit and talk about the Tigers too. But right now, I want to thank everybody who turned out Saturday for the Maggie Fry Scholarship Memorial Breakfast at Frank Beck Chevrolet. We had a great crowd there. Such a heartwarming scene to see all those people out there for a good cause. And for all of you who showed up, I can't thank you enough. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We will do this again next year, of course, as we will every year. But the Maggie Fry Scholarship Breakfast, it was a beautiful morning. And as I said, we had a great crowd. Weather couldn't have been better. Everything worked out just beautifully. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for coming and turning out there. Like I said, it did my heart well to see everybody out there. So thank you for coming out and experiencing the Frank Beck community support difference. Thank you so much. We're also brought to you in part, of course, as you know, Chevy Drive, Southern Michigan. And Chevy, let's drive. And of course, Frank Beck, I think they, as they showed Saturday, they are indeed the number one Chevrolet dealer in the tri-state area, not only in sales, but when it comes to community support as well. Thank you. Boy, I hope we can make it through this. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance on the corner of US 12 and M99 in Jonesville. That's barrettins.com. 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. As I said, on the corner of US 12 and M99 in Jonesville. 517-849-1000. barrettins.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. Lions. As he said, with the draft coming up here on Thursday night, I could tell you who the Lions have had in Allen Park for an interview last week. Starting with, the fella that I'd I'd be doing handstands and cartwheels if this guy is there at 28 when it comes to Lions' turn to pick. Otherwise, they'd have to move up. A lot that can transpire now between now and a week from Thursday night. A lot that can go on or transpire, like I said. Anyway, offensive lineman Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. That's the guy I'd like to see the Lions get. Simply because he can play any 5 positions on an offensive line. I think he's their kind of player. He was in Allen Park last week, as was Edge from Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart, running back Lan Larison from UC Davis, Edge Josiah Stewart from Michigan, linebacker Chaz Chambliss from Georgia, and linebacker Ruben Hippolyte. I'm sorry, from Maryland. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hippolyte. Anyway, Hyppolite. He was at Allen Park last week, as was Georgia offensive lineman Dylan Fairchild was in Allen Park last Thursday. Former Bear defensive end DeMarcus Walker was in Allen Park last week too, by the way. Look, the Lions have been, as USA Today reported last week, Brad Holmes has been in talks last several weeks with the other teams in regard to moving up in the draft. And that's the report that was put up by USA Today. It was CBS Sports, and I'll get into that in just a second here. They did a mock last week, and they had the Lions staying at 28 and taking the edge out of Georgia. Tyler Booker. I'm sorry, not Georgia, Alabama. The edge out of Alabama, not the edge. Take 2. The offensive lineman, Tyler Booker, out of Alabama. They had the CBS Sports had the Lions taking him at 28. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see them get him at 28, but I just don't think he'll be there at 28. And I'm convinced they're taking an offensive lineman to replace Kevin Zeitler. So, but in order to get Booker, I just don't see him being there at 28. I think you'd have to move up 10 or 15 spots to get him. The guy I'm looking at, I said, is Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State. I think that's their kind of player. As I said, looking at some of these, looking at a from the Athletic issued a report last week that they did a Lions 3-round mock draft, 28, 60, and 102 in the third round. With that 28th pick in the first round, they had them taking offensive lineman out of Texas, Kelvin Banks, 6'4", 320. I'm not so sure about that one. I give that a thumbs down. Second round pick, 60th pick overall. They had them taking the edge out of Ohio State, JT Tiamalua. I think that's a product. 6'5" and 270. Third round, they had, I've seen this name a lot, with the 102nd pick. That's a compensatory pick they got for losing Aaron Glenn, Josiah Stewart, edge out of Michigan, 6'1", 250. I've seen his name a lot, mocked to the Lions. Where are we here? Hang on. CBS Sports. This was a mock that they did last week. Had them with that 28th pick. Had them taking Donovan Jackson, the not Donovan Jackson. Donovan Izuruku, the edge out of Boston College. I'm not. Some of these names aren't easy to pronounce, folks. Excuse me on that. But the Athletic had them taking offensive lineman Kelvin Banks out of Texas with that 28th pick. USA Today had them taking Will Johnson, the cornerback out of Michigan. He won't be there at 28. Pro Football Focus had them taking James Pierce Jr., the edge out of Tennessee. He could very well be there at 28. Fox Sports had them taking Izuruku, the edge out of Boston College. Yahoo Sports, offensive guard Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State. That's who I was referring to earlier. Pro Football Network, defensive tackle Kenneth Grant out of Michigan with the 28th pick. NBC Sports also had them taking Donovan Jackson. So you're going to see a lot of mocks between now and next Thursday night. Couple things too before we get to the Tigers here. Put a quick word for Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, 37 Walden Street. Any technical issues you have at all, these are the people you want to see. Tim Lindley, Landley. Get in there and see Tim. Whether it be computers, an issue with your computers, new or used, sales and service, flat screen mounting, programming, TV mounting, programming. Maybe you're changing internet providers. You need that installed. Printers, anything at all. Get here and see him for any technical issues, sales, service, anything at all, anything you need. This is the only place to go in our area. 517-610-5372, 37 Walter Street, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive. Please get in there and see them. And when you do, tell me and make it sent you, will you? Thank you very much. Tigers played tonight. Not a particularly good outing yesterday for Casey Mize. Check the starting lineup here in just a second. Riley Green is slumping. I don't know if that's the reason he's not in the lineup tonight or not. He's like he struck out 14 times in his last 21 at bats. I think that's what I was looking at. He had a good first week, but maybe that's why he's not in the lineup tonight. I don't know, but he came up twice yesterday with men in scoring position. He struck out in the first inning with the Kerry Carpenter at second base. He came up, I believe, in the third or fourth, first and third, and 2 outs, a weak ground ball. He's scuffling a little bit right now. Am I worried about him? No. Tigers right now are at 9-6. If they were to win tonight, they'd be the first American League team to get to 10 wins. So after getting swept by the Dodgers in that first series of the year, they took 2 out of 3 from Seattle. They swept the White Sox. They took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, and they took 2 out of 3 from the Twins. You can't ask for any more than that. And I don't care how bad or good a team is. It's almost impossible to sweep anybody in a 3 or 4 game series. It just is. There's a lot of luck involved in doing that. They're sitting in first place right now in the American League East. Right now, the strong division, best division of baseball is the National League West with the Padres, Giants, and Dodgers. They're all 3 really good teams, probably the best 3 teams in baseball, you'd have to say. Although the Cubs did go in there and take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. Yeah, they did. They beat them 16-0 on Saturday night. They beat them again last night, 4-3? Cubs don't look that. Right now, the Cubs look like the best team in the National League Central. They're good because give the people in Chicago something to root for, because the White Sox certainly aren't going to be doing that. So anyway, you got to like the Tigers' chances next couple of nights, with Scuba going tonight and Flaherty going tomorrow night. Hey, win the next 2, you've taken another series. Then they head home here for 4 games this weekend with the Royals. So anyway, the starting lineup for tonight, game time is 7:40, by the way. Leading off, the designated hitter, Justin Henry Malloy. Batting second, the second baseman, Gleyber Torres. Hitting third, at third base, Andy Ibanez. Hitting cleanup at first base, Spencer Torkelson. And by the way, speaking of Torque, he hit his 5th home run yesterday, folks. His 5th home run. Okay? He didn't have his 5th home run last year until August 22nd. Oh, by the way, if you're thinking he's already hit 5 home runs in the month of April, there are 2 Tigers that hold the record for having hit the most home runs in the month of April. Cecil Fielder hit 10 in April in 1996. And Chris Shelton, you remember that name? In 06, he hit 10 home runs in the month of April. So Torque's got something to shoot for now. Has he got a shot at it? At this current pace, I think he does. Of course, if he keeps this pace up, he'll hit 40-something. I think he's capable of it, but it's way too early for that. Anyway, Malloy leading off DH. Gleyber Torres at second, batting second. Andy Ibanez hitting third at third base. Spencer Torkelson hitting cleanup at first base. Dylan Dingler catching and hitting 5th. Kerry Carpenter hitting 6th in left field. Javi Baez batting 7th at shortstop. Batting 8th. Ryan Kreidler in center field. And batting 9th, the right fielder, Zach McKinstry. That's your lineup. Skubal against former Tiger Tyler Alexander tonight, the left-hander, who had been pitching in the Brewers bullpen, but he was bumped up to a starting spot because they're a little thin in their starting rotation right now due to some injuries. I do think the Tigers are favored to win tonight behind Skubal, so we'll see. It's a pretty decent night in Milwaukee, but it doesn't really matter because they've got a roof anyway, so you don't have to worry about them getting rained out. So one more thing, too. The Pistons and Knicks game 1. The play-in games start tomorrow night. Pistons and Knicks will start their series in Madison Square Garden, 6 o'clock Saturday night. And I haven't looked, but I'm hoping that's on ABC. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. That'd be a good thing if it is. But first 2 games at Madison Square Garden before they come back to Little Caesars for 2 games here. At least 2 games anyway. I got a hunch this series is going 7, though. We'll see. The Pistons did take 3 out of 4 from the Knicks this season, including 2 at Madison Square Garden. But anybody will tell you the playoffs are a whole other ballgame as far as the NBA goes. Really, really are. It's nothing like the regular season, though. Uh, I think I got you caught up in everything. Like I said, we'll talk a little more about the Red Wings, do a postmortem on them or an autopsy a little later on in the week when we got more time. That's going to do it for us right now. Again, as always, thank you so much for watching and listening. And again, coming out to the Maggie Fry Scholarship Breakfast like you did Saturday morning. You don't know how much we appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll talk to you all again on Wednesday. Don't forget Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 with Andy and Jed here locally in WCSR 92.1 FM. So until Wednesday, I'll bid you a very pleasant good evening. Remember, please treat each other with respect. And as I said, thank you so much for watching and listening. So until Wednesday, have a good evening and so long, everybody.